Hello, space pilot Mr. Cool Guy here. And gotta say, things are going pretty well here. As for how things are going back on my home planet, I don't know. I mean, I hope things are going well. Who knows? Maybe one of my crew is out there. The ones that got lost. Maybe one of them is alive and is looking for me. I mean, I don't know if they'd find me, but who knows? Well, anyways, it's time for 10 more random facts you may or may not know. Starting with fact number 1. Reunited Airlines. April Gavin's suitcase was lost during a United Airlines flight from Chicago to her home in Oregon in August 2018. 4 years later, it mysteriously turned up at an airport in Houston, Texas, with its contents intact after arriving on a flight from Honduras. 4 years. So, you're telling me it was lost for 4 years? So does that mean like it was just left on the plane for 4 years? Like when the luggage was being unloaded? Like whoever unloads the luggage from the luggage compartment of the plane, like the lower area, just didn't see it somehow, or just like left it there, or she forgot it and left it up in the upper baggage compartment if her suitcase was of a size to where it could fit up there, and no one opened that compartment for 4 years. Right. But no, it would have to have been in the lower for it suddenly to appear at an airport in Houston, Texas. Either that or after 4 years, someone in that airplane ended up opening that upper baggage compartment area and saw there was a suitcase in there. Right? It would have to have been like the first person to get on the plane for it to have any significance. Right? But still, 4 years? Like, man, that's a long time. Well, anyways, time for fact number 2. Supersized shot. The world's largest Nerf gun measures a whopping 12.5 feet or 3.81 meters long and weighs over 200 pounds or 90.72 kilograms. The giant version of the popular toy is fully functional and 300% larger than your average Nerf gun. Michael Pick created the oversized blaster in Huntsville, Alabama. He designed 12-inch or 30-centimeter darts that launch at 50 miles per hour or 80 kilometers per hour, with enough power to shatter glass mugs and put a hole in a watermelon. Wow. Okay. Nerf said go big or go home, and this guy went big. Really big. That is... wow. That's a large Nerf gun. Man. I mean, sheesh. That's every kid's dream. Well, okay, maybe not every kid's dream. But you could imagine that there's a kid there that could only dream of having a Nerf gun that large. Not that a parent would get that large of a Nerf gun for them. Right? If they saw it, they'd be like, Mom, Mom. Or, yeah. Look at the real large Nerf gun. I want one. Right. And then the mother would be like, sorry, sweetie. We can't get you that large of a Nerf gun. It wouldn't fit in the house. But Mom, I want one. Now, sweetie, you know you're not supposed to have large things like that in the house. But it would stay outside. Sweetie, it's too large. We can get you a smaller Nerf gun. Oh, right. Right. But man, you'd be winning all the Nerf competitions with that. Just saying. Because it'd be hard to dodge a dart like that one that shoots at 50 miles per hour. Eesh, you better be wearing body armor. That'll hurt. But anyways, it's time to move on to, what do you know? It's a group of facts. Why, the next 6 facts, in fact. For we're gonna be looking at some funny bones. Animals come in all shapes and sizes, but they can be hard to recognize without their skin, fur, scales, or feathers. As we check out these spectacular skeletons, why don't you see if you can figure out which animal they belong to? But don't worry, there'll be clues. Well, let's look at our first skeleton and fact number 3. Winging it. This creature isn't a bird, but it does fly. Instead of feathers, its wings are made up of skin, stretched thinly between its extremely long fingers. This animal comes out at night, and some find it a bit spooky, but these flying mammals are amazing pest control. They can eat thousands of insects in just 1 hour. My. Now, can you guess which animal this skeleton belongs to? Well, the answer is a bat. Yes, that's right. A bat. And that's a lot of insects to eat in just 1 hour. Incredible. Wouldn't you agree? I'd say so. But those wings are quite thin. But now, let's take a look at skeleton number 2 and fact number 4. Big beak. This bird's beak is about 1/3 of its body length. Despite its large size, the beak is very light. It helps the bird stay cool in the rainforest canopies it calls home. The beak's knife-like edges are perfect for catching small animals and cutting through yummy fruit. And Fruit Loops, if you include breakfast cereal mascots. Do you know which animal this skeleton belongs to? And the correct answer is a toucan. Now, let's take a look at skeleton number 3 and fact number 5. Home bones. This animal has a protective shell that is part of its body. It is made up of broad, flat rib bones that are fused together. Different kinds of this animal are found on land, in freshwater, and in oceans. Some can pull their head and legs into their shell for extra protection. Do you have any clue which animal this skeleton belongs to? And the correct answer is a turtle. Yes, that's right. There is no skeleton inside the shell, for the turtles are the shell. Well now, why don't we go ahead and look at skeleton number 4 and fact number 6. No bones. Believe it or not, this animal doesn't have any bones. The skeleton you see here is actually made up of cartilage. That's the same stuff that makes up the stiff yet flexible parts of your nose and ears. This creature's cartilage supports a pancake-shaped body used to glide above the sea floor. Do you know which animal this skeleton belongs to? And the correct answer is a stingray. That's right, a stingray has no bones whatsoever. Now that is quite a feat, moving around with no skeleton. Well, why don't we move on to skeleton number 5 and fact number 7. Peculiar peepers. This bird has huge tube-shaped eyes used for hunting prey in the dark. They can make up as much as 5% of the bird's body weight. These big eyes are held in place by bony rings. The rings make it impossible for the bird to move its eyes without turning its head. To make up for this, the bird is able to rotate its head almost all the way around. Sounds quite creepy, if you ask me. But do you know which animal this skeleton belongs to? And the correct answer is an owl. That's right, these nocturnal creatures have quite the interesting shaped eyes. And yes, they can nearly turn their head almost all the way around their body. So don't be talking behind their back. They'll just turn their head around to stare at you and judge you for all that you said about it. Potentially. But now, let's take a look at the last skeleton and fact Number 8. Legendary looks. This animal's skull looks like it could belong to a one-eyed giant or cyclops. In fact, it is thought that the bones left behind by an extinct relative of this animal are what inspired the cyclops myth. What looks like an eye socket is actually where the creature's trunk would have been. Quite interesting. Now, do you know which animal this skeleton belongs to? Or I should say this skull belongs to? Is it a cyclops? No. That's right. The correct answer is elephant. Yes. That little socket there, that looks like it could house one single eye, is the place of where their trunk would be. And there you have it. 5 skeletons and a skull. And you went through them all. How many did you get right? Well now, let's move on to fact number 9. Flower Fest. Every May, the streets of Noto, Italy are covered in giant murals made of flower petals. The Infiorata di Noto isn't your garden variety festival. Every year since 1980, master florists turn a main street in Sicily into a lush carpet made of millions and millions of flower petals. About 400,000 flowers and plenty of other locally grown natural materials are used to create giant pictures that cover about 7,535 square feet or 700 square meters. The festival theme changes every year, and the city celebrates with markets and a parade too. Dang. Quite the festival. That is quite something. Man, that's a lot of flowers for a festival. Sheesh. That is wow. Okay then. Well now, let's move on to fact number 10. Boulder building. Portugal's Casa do Penedo, or Boulder House, rocks. In fact, it was built between 4 massive boulders during the 1970s. Everything except some furniture, doors, windows, and the roof are made from rock. Inside, there is even a sofa made of concrete that weighs almost 800 pounds or 362 kilograms. Dang. Modern day Flintstones right there. Sheesh. But man, a sofa made of concrete that weighs almost 800 pounds. Like that would be very heavy. Like, sheesh, man, you better hope you don't lose anything under that couch. Cause there ain't no way you're gonna be lifting that up to be getting the item that fell underneath. I mean, I'm sure there is someone out there strong enough who could lift it with the help of another very strong person. But yeah, that would be a very hard thing to lift. But it's just a house built between four massive boulders. Dang. That's quite the structure support right there. That's really going to protect you from a majority of damage on certain sides of the house. Well, there you have it. There was 10 random facts you may or may not have known, but you know now. Were there any that you knew? And if you knew any of them, and you have additional information on any of the facts you knew, then why not share it in the comments? If you'd like to. Who knows? You may surprise old space pilot Mr. Cool Guy and anyone else who reads it. Or if you just want to say hello or whatever, put that in the comments too. You know. And if you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like? You don't have to, but you can. It would help me out, especially if you subscribe. It just takes a couple seconds. But, only if you want. But it would really help if you did. And why not hit that notification bell too? So that way you can be notified as soon as another one of these drops. So that way you don't miss out. And why not share it with others so they have the chance to hear these 10 random facts that you just heard. Well, anyways, I'm Space Pilot Mr. Cool Guy. And as I always say, when it comes to the facts, dear Space Cadets, to infinity and more facts.